Hi, this is Emmanuel Kayode Oladipo for Ecolad. In this tutorial, we're going to be developing our simple calculator further. You all agree with me, in our previous tutorial, we were able to develop a simple calculator, but you all agree with me some buttons are missing. I'm just going to display what we did in our previous lesson. This is what we learned in our previous lesson, and I'm going to run this right now. So this is what we did last lesson, but if we look at this very carefully, number 8 and 9, button 8 and 9 are missing, and we're going to do something about it straight away. Okay, there will be no need to include button 10 because as you can see, we can combine 1 and 0. All those numbers can be combined basically to produce any other numbers. So we're going to develop this a little bit further. Now to do this, we're going to go straight to our code and make some modification. Now my design at this point is going to be, we're going to use 17 buttons, and then using 17 buttons implies that we have to decide how to arrange them. For instance, we can we can use 4 rows and 4 columns, and then the 5th row we can make it our equal sign button. Like I said, it's always very important to plan all these things well ahead, because you see, if you fail to design your calculator well ahead, you're more likely going to run into some problems. Let me load this. Oops. Let me check whether I still have okay, I think I have the Microsoft Word here. So it's always very important to plan well ahead. So what I'm going to do right now is we're going to be using 4 rows, 4 columns, and then the 5th row, 4 columns, 4 row, and then the 5th row we're going to use the equal sign button for that, so that we have a total of 5 rows. Okay, so this is what we're going to do, so that at least we can include number 8 and 9. I've designed this, and I think this normally will work. So the arrangement of those buttons is very important to plan them ahead. Very important. Okay, so but then before I start, let me just load it, just in case we forget anything. I'll load my plan. So what I will do straight away now is I will basically add more buttons. Let's start immediately after 7, because remember we have all these as our operators. So I can start anywhere actually. So let's copy that and paste, and we're gonna call this B8 and make that 8, and the next will be B9, and that is also going to be 9. Okay, so but then we need to renumber all this. This has to be 10 now, and that has to be 11, that has to be 12, that has to be 13, that has to be 14, that should be 15, and that should be 16. So at the same time, remember our Python program loops through the list to arrange them, so we need to make modification to our list as well. So I will add B13, B14, B15, B16. Okay, so another thing I'm going to do is, since we've now decided to have 4 columns according to my plan, my column span will be 4. Okay, we can increase the width of our screen as well. Let's increase it to 30. And another thing I'm going to do is I will increase the width of my equal sign button to 35, so that it covers the whole it cuts across the whole screen. Okay, another thing I'm going to do here is the column span. Like I said, I have to check the last button there and make sure the last button spans 4 columns. So I'll put 4 columns there. Okay, and so we're going to loop through from row 1 up to row 5, and the column now is going to be is going to be 4, and the last button, which is B16, as you can see there, I'm gonna change this to 16, and we want that to be loaded in row 6, column 0 as usual, but the column span remains 4. Okay, so that's all we want to do. Alternatively, you can change the width of the button created. Maybe we can change that to 5. Let's change that to 5, but it doesn't make any much difference anyway. So I'm gonna test this now and see whether we have all the buttons loaded. Perfect. As you can see, we have 16 buttons there, and then this 17th button is the equal sign, and as you can see, it's cutting across now perfectly. So this works perfectly. So this is a complete simple calculator. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is I will save this, and then we're going to develop this a little bit further. To develop this a little bit further, let me just save this. Please give me 2 minutes to save a copy. I'm just gonna call this simple calculator ended. Let me just save it like that. Okay, and the next thing I'm going to do now, okay, let me save another copy as calculator 5. So I'm going to make this a scientific calculator. Basically, to make this a scientific calculator, I will start with x squared. Now, whenever I want to use things like x squared, you all agree with me, in Microsoft Word, normally you can write x like this. Okay, and you can exponentiate the x. For instance, if I type 2 there, I can exponentiate this to that. Okay, but there's a Unicode for this. So all we're going to do now is to use our Unicode, and I think our Unicode basically is U00B2, if you check, as usual, the way I explained in our previous lesson. So all I will do here is I'm just going to type x, and then exponentiate this to 2. So to exponentiating this to 2 means we have to type the exponentiation Unicode, which is basically going to be U speech mark backward slash U0000B2. Okay, and then we put speech mark at the end, just like we have been doing. There's no difference between that, but in most cases you will want to put a plus there to concatenate the 2. Okay, and that's all we're going to do for the x squared. So we're going to add the equation, and after adding the equation, I think the rest is history. So like let me just copy that and go to my code. Where precisely do we want to put this? We probably may want to, actually maybe we should add more buttons. Okay, let's add 4 more buttons, 4 buttons more. Let's add 4 more buttons. But if we add 4 more buttons, let's add 4 more buttons actually before the design. Although I can put it there and you can see it work. Okay, let me put it on 9 before adding 4 more buttons so that you see how it works. So I just delete all this and then put that there. Okay, like I said, Python won't recognize this. If you just copy and paste, probably won't have to change that to the appropriate Python speech mark there and there, and that U there. I have to let me just put I think I have to put plus there. And speech mark there, speech mark there, so that I'll probably change this back to what's it called? I have to change this back to the number something. I have to change it back to 9 when we finish. So now currently if I run this, you probably will see the icon x squared, and you probably will see the icon x squared, but it's not going to do anything at the moment. Okay, so as you can see, the icon is there, x squared, but currently x squared doesn't work. It will only print the x squared inside it. So what are we gonna do? What we have to do is I will copy that and then use the regex, which I explained in the previous lesson. So I'm gonna go straight to my code here and then use regex to swap the x squared to what Python understands. So I will type self.equation equal re sub, and what I want to do is I want to swap it with x squared. X squared normally in Microsoft Excel, you know, if you want to exponentiate something, let's go to Excel first so I can demo that. Excel. So if you want to exponentiate something in Excel, you know, normally you can use double star for it. You can use the caret symbol for it. For instance, if I want to exponentiate, let's say 2 or 5, I want to raise 5 to the power of 2. I'll just type equal 5. Alternatively, you can use cell reference. Let me just put 5 there, and then type 2 there, and you can type equal sign and then type that. And exponentiation in Microsoft Excel is the use of the caret symbol, which is that one there. And I can click on that and it's gonna produce 25, as you can see. So but with Python, we will be using double star for exponentiation. Okay, we'll be using double star. So in which case right now I'm going to type double star. So let's use the apostrophe there and type double star 2. Okay, double star 2. The double star is for exponentiation, so I'll put 2 there and put enclose the calculation by apostrophe. You can use speech mark if you want. So I'll type self.equation there and then close the bracket, and that is done. Finito. So let's test. You're gonna test this. Okay, so now what I will do, I will raise this to the power of 2. Okay, so if I want to raise, let's say 5 to the power of 2, type equal. Okay, it doesn't do it. So what I'm going to do in that case is actually I should have I think I've swapped this already. It says *2 self.equation ray sub is not defined. Oh, ray sub is not defined. Okay, it has to be ray.sub. I'm so sorry about that. Ray sub wasn't defined there. I'm surprised. I think I've been doing this now for some time. So if I type 5 now and type x squared and type equal, it should tell me the answer is 25. All right, let's clear this. Let's try 10 and square and press equals. You see, it tells me it's 100 straight away. Now let's try 8 to the power of 2 and press equals. You see, it's 64. So this is a simple way of implementing x squared. Okay, so you can repeat the same procedure for x cubed. You understand what I mean. So what you're going to change basically is the 2 there. You simply just have to change that to 3. Okay, but the only difference is if you want to do that, you probably there's a separate Unicode for that. Okay, there's a separate Unicode for that. Okay, for instance, in place of 8 now, let's say we want to use a separate Unicode for this. I think the separate Unicode for that is U00B3. So all I'm just gonna do is, because we want the icon x cubed to be displayed on that button there, the only thing I'm going to change is the 2 there. I just change it to 3, and I'm gonna copy that, and to make sure it is swapped for x cubed, for so that the operation is performed appropriately. So what I'm going to do in that case is I'm just gonna copy. Okay, let me press this twice and then paste this. I'm just gonna copy that because I think I don't like typing as such. So I will paste that there and duplicate that. Let me cut that and put that here. And instead of 2, I will make this one 3, so that it's cubed basically. Okay, so we're done. So now if I run this, you should, that is s cubed there. You see the s cubed, and if I want to cube, let's say 3, I'll type 3 and then cube it and press equals. You see, it tells me it's 27 because 3 times 3 times 3 normally will produce 27 there. You can clear the screen and let's check 5. I think 5 should give us 125. I'm not pretty sure of that. And then cube it. Oh, sorry. 5 cubed. You see? Excellent. Excellent. So this is what I've decided to teach you today. You can do square root as well. Of course, for square root, there's a separate Unicode for that. There's a separate Unicode for that, but the only thing you need to change in your exponentiation is you can raise it to the power of half. Remember, in mathematics, if you want to find the square root of a number, you simply exponentiate it to half, 0.5. Okay, so and I think the Unicode for square root is U221A. U221A. Maybe we should do that as well. Let's use 7 there. And type. Remember, we want to exponentiate this, so I'm just going to type as usual. I just type U. And oh, actually, I think I have to delete everything there. So remember the same way we've been doing it, and I will use a backward slash there, and I will type U. I will type U 221A, 221A, 221A. So I will put 221A there, 221A. And once you type 221A and you put your speech mark just as usual, we can multiply this. We can raise this to the power of 0.5, that is half. Okay, so I will simply just type star star. Remember, star star. No, actually, it's only the icon I want to put here. So let's just put the icon. Then I can copy that. And oh goodness, this is too hot. U221. I actually omitted the U there. I don't know why I'm moving too slow now. So if you go down there, where do we want to put this? I can just paste it there so that I don't have to type it again. Copy that, paste, and I'll copy that code. That's the Unicode. Let's cut it. The Unicode there, I do not need to put X this time because it's a square root symbol, isn't it? So I'm just going to delete that off. No concatenation required. I'm just going to delete this up to here. Okay, so this code, this Unicode here produces the square root icon. And remember, if you find a square root, you need to exponentiate this to 0.5. Okay, and then we're done. So that if I go up now, the icon, this will appear on the button B7, and to evaluate during runtime, during evaluation, is going to replace this icon here, which is the square root, with double star 0.5, so that the exponentiation to the power of 0.5 can be done, can be evaluated, and the answer is stored there as usual. Okay, so if I run that now, click OK. Okay, expected. Okay, there's no indentation there, so I have to move this back a little bit. You see that? That's easy to do. So I click that now. Thankfully, you can just press F5. So it should run. So now the square root is there, as you can see. The square root icon is there. So if I want to find the square root of 4 and press that and press equals, well, it's telling me this. Okay, let's see what it says. Answer self.equation. It says string line 4. Okay. I think I know what happened. I will run this again. Okay, I will run this and I will press the equal sign and press 4. Okay, it doesn't identify the character. So what I'm going to do on this occasion is that we have to find a better way. Oh, I didn't probably U221A. Oh, I forgot to put the U. I'm surprised. I didn't put the U there. Yeah, sorry. And let me check. Yeah, it's correct up there. Let's try again. So it was unable to find it because I basically omitted the U. So if I type 16 and I press square root and press equal, it tells me the answer is 4. Okay, let's try 169. I think that should be 13. I'm not pretty sure of that. Well, let me try. Oh, unfortunately, there is no. Let's type 100. type square root. That is perfect. Okay, now, so this is what we're going to do. I mean, this is what we've been able to do so far. Please remember, the Unicode produces the icon. Your evaluation is introduced here. You're more likely not going to find this anywhere in any textbook, because this is my own work. Okay, so this is what I've designed for this. Okay, you can develop this further. Remember, if we run this now, we can add more. We can add 4 more icons, at least for 7, 8, and 9. 7, 8, and 9, and add more functionality. Okay, I'll add 4 more icons to keep it even, because remember, if we fail to add 4 more icons, it will be disorganized. So, but we need to add 4 more icons to keep it even. So in which case, I can simply just go up there, copy. Let's copy that. Now, if we add 4 more icons to 17, that basically we make it 21. Okay, so that we can now have instead of having 1 to 5, we can have 1 to 6 rows. We can have about 1 to 6. We can start from 1 to 6 and have 5 rows, and then the 6th row basically will be our what's it called, our equal sign. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Okay, so let's make modification. I will add that, add that, add that. How many? 1, 2, 3. One more. Okay, so we need to move this a little bit backward there. Move that backward to align it, and move that backward 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Move that backward 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now B6, B7, 7, B8, 8, B9, 9, and I think that's it. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there will be no need for number 10. So let me delete that off. Okay, so we're gonna change this to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and change that to 11, change that to 12, that to 11, to 12, to 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Sorry. 13, 14. I'm surprised. 15. Sometimes I make all these minor errors, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, so we have about 19 right now, and 19. So 4 times 4, that will give us 16. Okay, we still need to add more. Actually, we need to add more to it. 0. Actually, we have 20, so we still have one more, because it should be 21. Because if we add 4 to 17, basically that should be 21. Oh my goodness. Okay, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna add that there. Let's add it there. Okay. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so now we have B0, B1, B2, B3, B4, B5, B6, B7, B8, B9, B10, B11, B12, B13, B14, B15, B16, B17, B18, B19, B20. Okay, and we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. For this, let's just make this blank for now. Let's leave it blank. Eventually, we're going to be putting something there. We can add another functionality. I don't know, we've added division, multiplication, addition, and the rest of them. So we're going to add one, but for now, let's just leave it blank. Okay, so we're going to number this up to so B18, B19, B20, B0, B1, B2, B3, B4, B5, B6, B7, B8, B9, B10, B11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, now we're going to increase the length, the range to 6 to accommodate it. And the row, the column, we can leave it as 4. And the 17th, B20. So the last one is basically B20. Okay, and what we're going to do now is I don't think there's any other thing we need to make, any other change we need to make, because already the column remains the same thing. Okay, so I think everything is okay now. Although we can increase the width now. No, actually the width need not be increased because we did not change the column. Okay, so let's see what we have. Perfect. Perfect. So as you can see, 0, 1, 2 is now complete. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're going to add one more functionality. You can think of any functionality you can add. For instance, you can, what possibly can you add here? You can add modulo, or there are so many. You can check for any other mathematical operator you can add. And I guarantee you, if you do it the way we've been doing it, it will definitely work. It will work. Everything is working perfectly. So I type 8 now. 8 plus 5, that should give me 13. You see, I can clear the screen. And if I have, let's say, 144, and then we want to find out the square root and press equals, it tells me the answer is 12. Clear the screen. Let's raise 5 to the power of 3. It tells me it's 125. So if I can clear the screen, everything is working perfectly. Okay, let's minus, let's say, is this minus 7? That's perfect. Okay, divide 84 divided by 4, 21. Okay, So that is all about how to create a simple calculator, even a scientific calculator. There are a lot of things you can do in here. For instance, you can integrate, you can create some buttons to integrate, to differentiate, to find a modulo. You can do a lot of things here, to do some statistical analysis as well. That is all. Please, if you have any problem creating a project like this, you can pop me an email at emmanuelkayode@hotmail.co.uk. Alternatively, you can just write some comments on my Facebook account. Thank you and goodbye. Have a lovely day. Control, no shift.